So, how my homeboys be doing out there? No, not my way of talking. Um, Boy, have I had a day. The dentist appointment that I was so sure I had, I called and set it up yesterday. I was going through both my provider books, finding out who I qualified for where, and I found on the fourth call, I found a dentist that saw someone over 21. And I called them, and I got there, and I started on the paperwork. We got there at 7. People just started coming in at 7:15 because they opened at 8. That should have been my first hint. For another thing, the appointment was Thursday, 9:15 Thursday, 7:15 today. I wrote it down. Somehow 7:15 today was in my mind. Fortunately, Jan had fallen asleep on the couch and was just sitting there covered in dogs. And I got her up to let her nap for an hour, an hour, while I gave the cat soft food and made myself some coffee. A pot of coffee in the morning is good for a person. So then I got home and I tried figuring these books out. You know, you've got lists of providers that big, and I picked him up and took him out of the way because little sis was in one of her book eating moods, and I didn't want my list of providers eaten. There was one book that was pretty much just a list of providers, so that's where I was going. But I couldn't make any sense out of it because it didn't appear to be in alphabetical order. The book that had just about, that much of providers was in alphabetical order by county, then alphabetical order by specialty, and if nobody in that county had that specialty, you didn't see the word. It's really simple. And I found everybody I needed on that because I'm supposed to have 2 dental visits a year for cleaning, checking and cleaning, and up to $1,000 in other medical expenses. I might be able to get my braces back. Obviously under a new person, because the other person says they'll never take back anybody they've turned back before, which I thought was kind of crude, since they knew my situation of only being able to work 20 hours a week, if I could even make that much. They knew I kept the job for 3 months longer than I could handle it, so I could keep insurance for 3 months longer and see a new neurologist, who, as fate would have it, is on my list of providers. They can't set up an appointment with me until I get whatever I owe to the billing department. They want to talk to me about that. They said there's a way they can possibly work with me or erase it, or he may want to see me that bad that he'll get rid of it. The office staff is usually incompetent, but the girl I talked to today was very good, and she said, "No, when you get to the billing department, you'll have to leave a message. They'll probably call you back this afternoon." Now, I haven't found my therapist anywhere yet, but then again, I called him when I got back from my exile. The anarchy exiled me to Don's house, and I've been back for 3 weeks, 3 days ago. Or at least I called him 3 weeks, 3 days ago. I don't remember if I got home on the weekend or not. Oh no, I came home on a Friday because it was just going into Dawn's weekend off, and we were looking so forward to it. But I got the feeling the night before that I'd be better off somewhere else, so I took off. And I've got all sorts of thoughts in my mind now that I've learned that my credit score is 699 now. I've got a credit company working for me. They took $50 off my first month's full pay. You get $12.90 something for your first pay to get them even started. Then next month will be my first month's pay, and they'll take $50. It's $94. They'll take $50 off of that because I'm a veteran. I asked them if they wanted proof. Did they want me to send them my VA, my discharge papers, my DD-214? And I said, nah, we'll take your word for it. Cool. But they told me they're the ones who checked my credit score for me and said I'm 699. 699 is a good credit score. I can get a house with that. I can get a car with that. So my thoughts were, call Fort Sill National Bank main branch, ask them what realtor they prefer to work with, and tell them my plan is to get an acre or a half acre out there already set up for a trailer, but not in a trailer park, that I could put a double wide on that already had the hookups. Then all I'd have to do is slide it in, plug it in, and I'd be ready to go. And I'd have to do all this sight unseen. Now I would like to fly out then and check and make sure everything's on before I came back and got the cats. And my bed and my TV and all that stuff. But then other issues come up with that. I refuse to get my license back in Tennessee. First, now I don't mind paying the extra $240 to the government. I've already spent enough of it. And I did an extra month in jail because my lawyer wouldn't go in front of the judge. The judge didn't look at the papers. The corporal didn't read the papers where she highlighted them for me, saying that I got double time for my days in rehab. She highlighted that and said nobody gets credit for days in. Yeah, and when the judge saw that, he got really pissed off. And 4:20 the next morning, they woke me up and said, "Pack your shit, you're gone." And I guess first thing she got that morning when she got there was, "Judge Grimes wants to see you," because that's what he said. But I just don't want to spend any more money. I mean, hell, I gave him a month of my life that I'll never get back. I was out picking up garbage, smoking 3 cigarettes a day, if we didn't have to share one. And since you got to keep the black boys happy, it was usually menthol. So then we've got the idea. I go out there, I buy a truck out there. They're going to be a lot cheaper out there too, because Fort Sill, Oklahoma, Lawton, is not near any big city. It's not like you got Nashville right there with their sky-high prices that are reduced for everything. You know things cost more the closer you get to a big city. Nashville, Knoxville, Blount County, everything's more expensive. And so I'd have to get first off, I'd have to go to the judge again. Because even though I've been found indigent twice, and I'm on disability, I guarantee Department of Motor Vehicles would want to see again that a judge had found me indigent. And that's the only way I could get the breathalyzer put on there and have it checked every month for 6 months. It's like $300 something to put it on and $240 to have it checked every month. Shit, I can't afford that. I was $400 behind last month. $200 behind this month already. And I'm not spending. I've got a 20 in my pocket. That's it. I'm going to need another carton of smokes, which will leave me $2 and some odd cents. I've got to make it. I'm not going any further. No, I did not win the 5,000 on Wheel Watchers Club. Not spending any more of it. Just not. Then next month I hope to be even at the end of the month. My bank gives me a $500 overdraft limit, and it's $19 for each overdraft. Not $19 every day it's overdraft. Not $19 or 19% every time there's an overdraft. No, it's $19 flat fee. And when I was making $36,000 a year and had state direct deposit, they allowed me $200. Now that I'm making $1,100 a month, but have federal direct deposit, it's $500 a month. Because they know that's the only money I'm getting, and they know they're getting it. Which is why I think they would be happy to help me with a car loan and a house loan. My other idea was possibly maybe a house along Cherokee Heights Boulevard, but once again, it's still in Tennessee. I'm gonna send Dawn a text here in a minute and ask her if her mom would consider selling that other house she's got down there. What size is it? Would it be worth it for me? That sort of thing. But I mean, like, for the mobile home in Lawton idea, I'm looking under 10 grand. You get it from Cookeville Mobile Home Liquidators. I could probably get it for $5,000 in good condition. The $3,000, $4,000 to move it all the way out to Oklahoma. See, that's where the cost would come in, and them hook it up. But a half acre out in the middle of nowhere, it's not going to cost shit. I think that would just be beautiful. I'd rather live in Texas, but that's even more difficult. Although it's the same idea. I mean, there's cheap land out in Texas the further you get away from the big cities. But there's so many big damn cities, and I mean, they're huge. But you can find little towns in Texas where I can find exactly what I'm looking for. A little bar to go sit at. 2 days. That's my limit. 2 days off my meds. Then I gotta be on my meds again at least 3 days before I do it again. Probably I should go 5. So weekends. Hey, that would work out. Or maybe I ought to just stay quit this time. Who knows? Anyway, I've gone way long again. I'm getting off here and watching Survivor. Anderson out.